And joining us now is Tim Kendall, CEO of Moment and former president of an IPO this year, Pinterest. Tim, it's good to have you with us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Look, a lot of momentum in this public market space here. Why is now the right time for these startups on the sidelines to consider tapping the public markets?
I mean, I think it's as simple as there's investor appetite and there's momentum.
So there's investor appetite in the public markets, certainly, right? The whole narrative is if you want growth, you get into these IPOs. But I think about it on the VC side, too. VC firms have a ton of cash to put to work. And so why the public markets versus tapping yet again the VC space?
Yeah. Well, I think that, a lot of these companies, they have employees who are shareholders and they need to sell stock eventually, right? Some of them are 6, 7, 10 years in. And a public offering is a marketing event. It's a branding event. And you see that the folks that have done it well, I think in the last 1 to 2 months, it's been a boon for their brands.
As a former executive at Pinterest, what are your thoughts on how the company has debuted here on
I think folks,
markets?
I'm focused on my new venture, but I think folks are really happy with it. It's sort of all you could ask for, right? Up on the first day of trading and then up since then.
Are you watching Slack price its direct listing tomorrow?
I could say yes, but when you're running a startup, you're trying not to spend too much time watching the public markets.
The direct listing avenue, though, is a relatively new one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Spotify do it last year. Now Slack is going to do it.
Google did it, 15 years ago, but it's not that common.
Right. In the startup world, what are the benefits to this direct listing versus a traditional IPO?
Well, I think you avoid fees. Although it's interesting, I just saw on a few moments before, it's not like they avoid fees entirely. When you look at Slack compared to Uber or Lyft, it's not like they're saving 90% on the fees. It looks like about saving half.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I want to talk about your current venture, Moment, and really what drew you to start this company.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it was, the real impetus was a personal experience with my own phone and really struggling with overuse of my own phone. I mean, I caught myself 3 or 4 years ago hiding in my pantry at home after I got home from a long day at work, and I've got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old that I haven't seen all day who I love and are the center of my world. And I was in my pantry scrolling through social media, and I couldn't stop.
I know.
I think people are afflicted with this.
Mm-hmm. I certainly am. I think a lot of people are too.
Yeah.
How does Moment try to curb your screen time use?
So we basically help you understand how much you use it, which most people underestimate how much they use their phone by a factor of 2. Most people think they spend 2 hours a day, when in fact they spend about 4 hours a day, which, by the way, is a quarter of the hours that you're awake. So a quarter of your life is on your phone. So we help with awareness, and then we actually give you exercises and coaching to help kind of wean you off.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so take us through the main difference between the addition that Apple made to its current version of iOS, screen time.
And what we do.
And what you guys do, because I think when people hear screen time, they think a lot about that weekly report that they're automatically getting from Apple.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, the way that I think about it is, if you were to analogize it to diet and exercise, I think Apple said, hey, we know there's a problem, here's a scale, good luck. I think what we've said is, you need a scale, sure, but you also need nutritional guidelines, you need an exercise regimen, and so we're actually trying to make a much more proactive effort to really help people take the steps they need to take. Because it's not as simple as just having a scale, right?
So what's the easiest way to get lean when it comes to screen time?
Yeah, please,
cut down that weight.
Please.
The best trick is to leave your phone outside your bedroom, because that is a culprit not only before you go to bed of making it hard for you to go to sleep, it's also what people grab when they wake up in the middle of the night, and it's what people grab when they get up in the morning. And that explains a lot of frivolous and unnecessary time that people spend on their